This video is brought to you by Card Kingdom, and while supplies last, if you mention Saffron Olive in your order notes, we'll hook you up with a free Saffron Olive sticker with any Card Kingdom order. Hello everyone, it's Seth, probably better known as Saffron Olive, and it's time for another edition of Budget Magic. So this week, we are heading again to Pioneer, because Pioneer is like my favorite format now, and it is awesome, and I'm excited for this deck. We are revisiting a deck that was kinda good in Standard, but gets some huge brawl upgrades, and that is green-red Electrostatic Pummeler energy. Basically, this is an energy deck, but really, it's a try to jank you out with one big attack from Electrostatic Pummeler strategy. So kind of like this weird Pioneer Voltron deck. So, as you can see, just over $100 a paper, 45 ticks on Magic Online. So, a pretty reasonable price for a deck that I think is actually pretty powerful. And if you've been playing Standard, like with a lot of Pioneer decks, you might already have like most of this deck sitting around. So, a quick reminder before we break down Pummeler for Pioneer. If you enjoy this deck, and you enjoy Budget Magic in general, it would be so cool of you if you could take a second, click that subscribe button down at the bottom of your screen. It's a great way to support the channel and the site for free. So let's talk some Pummeler, starting with our namesake card, Electrostatic Pummeler, which is very aptly named, because it just kind of pummels people. So it's a 3-mana 1/1, doesn't look all that pummeler-y when you just read that, but when it comes into play, you get 3 energy, and then you can pay 3 energy, and you give it plus X, where X is its power. So by itself, it's not much of a threat. You play it, you get 3 energy, you can activate it once, make it a 2/2. That's not all that scary, but with some support cards, the idea of this deck is we are going to be able to turn Electrostatic Pummeler into a 20 power trampler pretty early in the game. So there's a couple of steps to this plan. First off, we want to make a bunch of energy. Energy really important to the plan of the deck. To make Pummeler into a lethal threat, we need minimum of 6 energy to double its power twice, and getting up to 9 energy to do it 3 times makes things even crazier. So for this, we got a bunch of energy cards. We start off with Servant of the Conduit. Our energy mana dork gives us another way to spend our energy, ramps us into some of our more expensive cards, and it's just fine. It's a 2/2 for 2, so not a bad card on its own. Then we have kind of some backup beatdown creatures. Greenbelt Rampager, it's a little bit weird. When it comes into play, it makes an energy, but then it bounces back to our hand unless we have 2 energy to spend on it, and if we have that 2 energy, we gotta spend it on it. So if we can manage it right, it can generate energy, or it can kind of suck away our energy. So we gotta be a little careful if we're going in the Pummeler plan, which is why we only have a couple of them, but still, it ends up being a 3/4 pretty early in the game, as early as turn 2 perhaps. Then Voltaic Brawler, another reasonable threat, comes in, makes 2 energy, it's a 3/2 for 2, so already fine stats, and when it attacks, we can pay an energy, make it a 4/3 with trample until end of turn. So we can't just win kind of naturally. Greenbelt Rampager, Servants of the Conduit, Voltaic Brawlers beat our opponent down, so if we don't draw a Pummeler, we still have ways to damage our opponent, and then we have our big energy finisher on the top end of our curve in Bristling Hydra. Bristling Hydra, 4 mana, 4/3, makes 3 energy when it comes into play, which happens to be enough energy to activate Pummeler another time, which is nice, and we can pay 3 energy, put a counter on it, give it hexproof, so really hard to actually kill. So another important piece of our backup plan, where we could just play a bunch of random energy things, play a bit of removal, maybe a pump spell or 2, beat our opponent down with our random, like, Gruul energy beat plan. Then we have some ways for our mana to actually produce energy. Way number 1, Attune with Ether, 2 energy, search for a basic land, put it in your hand. This allows us to trim all the way down to 20 lands in our deck, because Attune with Ether is essentially another land, like a tap land essentially. It costs 1 mana, puts it in our hand, but essentially works like an Evolving Wilds. It makes 2 energy. Then we have a bunch of basic lands, some dual lands, including Ether Hub, which also makes some energy, so another extra way to up our Pummeler's power. We do have Game Trail. I know I've been critical of the Shadows over Innistrad duels, but as budget options, I think they're actually pretty reasonable. So Game Trail to go with our basic lands. So that is our mana base and our energy production, but just making energy unlikely to be enough to allow us to win with Pummeler. To just naturally have energy to double, make Electrostatic Pummeler into a lethal threat, we're gonna need like 15 energy or something absurd, and have our opponent not block our Pummeler. So the thing that makes Electrostatic Pummeler especially scary is pump spells. So along with our energy, what we really want to do is use gore-clan Rampager or Collision Colossus, a Colossus F, to target our Pummeler. These are spells that for 2 mana give a creature +4/+4 or +4/+2, +4 power, and also trample. So what this means is if we play, let's say, Electrostatic Pummeler on turn 3, on turn 4 we untap, we gore-clan Rampager when we attack with it, that's going to make it 5 power. Then we pay 3 energy to double its power to 10, then we pay 3 more energy, double its power to 20, that is a 20 power trampler to just kill our opponent. And it gets even crazier as the game goes along. Imagine we have gore-clan Rampager and Colossus. 4 mana, we target Pummeler with both of those. It's going to make Pummeler 9 power, then we double that to 18 power using energy. We double that again up to 36 power using our other energy, and that is always going to be enough to kill our opponent. So that is the main goal of the deck. Get at least 6 energy, Electrostatic Pummeler attacks, make it at least 5 power with gore-clan Rampager Collision Colossus, then double, 20 trampling power to close out the game. We also have a couple of backup pump spells. Ronas Indomitable, it's just a decent threat on its own, and if we kind of like flood out, we can activate it to target our Pummeler, another way to give something trample and to grow its power. And then Embercleave is kind of our double strike spell. If you think a 20 power trampling Electrostatic Pummeler is scary, it's twice as scary, literally, if we give it double strike with Embercleave. So if we can attack with a few of our random energy creatures, can be as low as 2 mana, and then we can always move it around. +1/+1, double strike, and trample. Very, very threatening on Electrostatic Pummeler, especially with another pump spell thrown in, like Blossoming Defense. Blossoming Defense, the last piece of the puzzle. This can work as a backup pump spell with Electrostatic Pummeler. Unfortunately, doesn't give trample, doesn't get it quite enough power to do the double trick for 20 damage, but it also gives hexproof. So this is a way to fizzle a removal spell targeting our Electrostatic Pummeler. So makes it really good in the deck, even if it isn't our most explosive pump spell. And that's essentially the deck. That is the plan. Main plan, target our Pummeler with a bunch of pump spells, pump it a couple times with energy, kill our opponent in one shot. Backup plan, random energy creatures to kill our opponent. We also have a few Harness Lightnings. Harness Lightning is our removal spell, also can be an energy ritual. When you Harness Lightning, you get to choose how much energy to spend. So if we just need an extra Electrostatic Pummeler activation, we can actually like target our own Pummeler even. Choose to not spend any energy, so Harness Lightning is going to deal 0 damage, but we get 3 energy, which happens to be enough for an Electrostatic Pummeler activation. So keep that in mind. While we often use this as a removal spell, it can also just be +1 Pummeler activation, +1 Bristling Hydra activation, plus energy to activate whatever, or Servant of the Conduit. So it can be an energy ritual along with a removal spell. In the sideboard for aggressive decks, Anger the God sweeps away the board. A little bit clunky with some of our creatures, which like Voltaic Brawler can die, Servant of the Conduit, Pummeler. However, if we're going to die to like a board full of elves or some aggressive goblin deck or whatever, Anger the God's worth it to get rid of everything. Aethersphere Harvester works with the energy plan, gains us some life really good against aggro. Pithing Needle, Fry, Veil of Summer for control. Pithing Needle for Planeswalkers. Fry to deal with Okos and Teferis. Veil of Summer, just another protection spell. Cindervines to deal with artifacts and enchantments, and can punish some combo decks, like Jeskai Ascendancy style combo decks looking to cast a bunch of spells in a turn. And that is Pummeler for Pioneer, and that's our budget magic for this week. So let's jump into the gameplay, see if we can pummel some fools with Electrostatic Pummeler, gore-clan Rampager, Embercleave, and Friends in Pioneer. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy it, and I'll be back in a bit with a wrap-up. All right, budget magic time. We are pummeling in Pioneer, and yeah, we got a Pummeler. We don't have any pump spells. And let's just attune with Ether. Take a Forest. Pass the turn. Opponent. Once upon a time. Sure. Oh boy. Boggles? This is going to get interesting. Let's see. Play Rootbound Crag. Play Servant of the Conduit. Alright, so I think our main plan here is just to make the best Pummeler ever. That's how we win this game. Opponent. Season of Growth. Come on, trample stuff. Play a Forest. Play a Pummeler. Get some energy. Go to combat, hit our opponent. If we can draw a trample spell, this Pummeler can win the game very quickly. Play Attune with Ether, get some energy. Play Greenbelt Rampager, spend some energy. Play Attune with Ether, get some energy. Go to combat, attack. Man, we are a pump spell away from winning this game. Opponent, down to 15. Untaps. Opponent needs another green source. That's what they're missing. We got to close it out quick. Opponent, what you got? Scoops it up! Scoops it up! Oh, they didn't hit it. What were we going to draw? Nothing. Into Bristling Hydra. Servant. Well, Embercleave was a few cards down. We would have got there eventually. Oh, boy. Boggles. So, Cindervine's in. Anger of the Gods in. Ay, ay, ay. I guess Harness Lightning out? Run it like that? I mean, I think we just gotta pummel. That's our hopes and dreams, is to just get a pummeler that's big enough that it doesn't care about Boggles. Or have our opponent just have the Boggles consistency issues like we saw in game 1. That's option 2. Oh, this hand is so close to what we want, but we don't have the mana. You know what? I think we're gonna keep this. We'll see if it's actually fast enough. We have no threats, but we have this anger. And if this anger can kill the Boggles before they kill us, you know, play a land, Rampager. That gives us hope. That gives us hope. If they can grow it outside of anger range before turn 3, then we're in trouble very much. Season of Growth. We will see. Opponent, combat. Give them for 1. Well, Ether Hub. Oh, that was a misplay. All right, pass the turn. Oh, yeah, that was... I was going to play the Rampager, but then we don't have double red for next turn. And I think our only hope is for this anger to be good. We should have just played a Mountain there. Mountain and Rampager. Ethereal Armor. Draws a card. Well, let's see. That's 3 power. Do they have another aura? 6 cents. All right, and that does it. Sure. Well, that's what Boggles can do. Yeah, maybe the anger. I think the anger hand, it's possible we should have mulliganed again. The anger hand, if we were on the play, probably would win us the game, but on the draw, we saw what can go wrong with the anger plan. Well, okay. Let's see if our theory about play draw ends up being correct. Forest go. I mean, this hand is slow, but you gotta think that turn 2, or turn 3 anger on the play, you gotta hope that that's enough. Glade Cover Scout. If it's not, then we're just out of luck. Play a Mountain, pass the turn. All right, fingers crossed. Fingers crossed that we can kill this Glade Cover Scout. Forest. 6 cents. Opponent gets in, draws a card. Okay. Yup. Passes. Well, Rootbound Crag. Anger of the Gods. Pass the turn. Come on. No Boggle. No Boggle. Season of Growth. Okay. Temple Garden. Tapped. Well, run out. Voltaic Brawler. Pass the turn. A little bit light on lands. We would like 1 more for this Bristling Hydra. Opponent. Land. Season of Growth. Oh boy. If they draw a creature, it's going to get scary. Baffling End. Sure. Well, we will play a Pummeler. Pass the turn. Forest for our opponent. Passes. I'll play a Pummeler. Pass the turn. We're getting close. We're getting close. Hit our opponent. Next turn, we can potentially win. Land for our opponent. Oh, the anger on the play is looking like double. Do we go for the win? We could. Go to combat. Attack. Rampager. Double. 20. Oh, pummeled. I didn't know what they could have at instant speed that would blow us out, but thankfully it was nothing. Well, we saw the power of anger on the play. Play draw does make a difference, but pummels. Sweet. All right, budget magic time. We are... all right, we're going to keep this. We are pummeling. Playing some green-red Pummeler in Pioneer, and... this hand, the mana's a little sketchy, but Servant of the Conduit can help fix it, and we could just draw red mana. Bristling Hydra is a reasonable threat. No Pummeler, but we have a decent amount of energy production. Would like to have a tune with Ether, but what can you do? All right, Forest, go. See what our opponent is up to. The risk is if we play this Servant and it dies and we don't draw red mana, then this hand's going to be questionable at best. I would say. Temple of... Okay. That's a little concerning. All right, there's red mana. So reveal the Forest, and we will just... Servant of the Conduit. I think we just got to get a clock going, because this could be a... Okay, this definitely looks like a Nexus deck. Well, Rootbound Crag. Play... Actually, let's... I think what we do here is... Voltaic Brawler. This actually gets in a lot more immediate damage than... just running out 1 Bristling Hydra. So Voltaic Brawler. This lets us hit for 10 next turn. and play a Bristling Hydra. We basically got to kill our opponent before they start going off with Wilderness Reclamation. That is our challenge. Opponent leaves a card on top. Woodland Cemetery. Gift of Paradise to gain some life. Sure. Well, we'll see. Play the land. Run out Bristling Hydra. Go to combat. Attack with everything. Pay. Hit our opponent down to 13. I mean, in theory, we're presenting lethal. In practice, we'll see. Opponent mills a land. Wilderness Rec. Oh, okay. Sure. That's fine. That just looks like a chump blocker that draws a card. And opponent scoops it up. Okay. Well, that was on a pummeler draw, but it worked. Opponent. I guess Cindervine's in. And maybe that's it? Just a couple of Cindervines? So 2 Cindervines in. What are we cutting is the question. Maybe like 1 Blossoming Defense, 1 Collision Colossus. Run it like that. Okay. Well, I mean, we just ran out our hand and it was good enough. Ew. We do kind of have 2 lands. I still think we have to mulligan this. All right, this will keep. I guess we put Bristling Hydra to the bottom. This is going to be interesting. We're leaning hard on a Toon Ether Hub here, but we have a pretty aggressive hand. We'll see. Opponent. If they Thoughtseize this, okay, Llanowar Elves. Okay. I don't know what our opponent's deck is doing. Well, Ether Hub, get an energy. Attune with Ether. Take a forest. Pass the turn. Oh. It's Nykthos. Gift a pair. Okay. I have no idea what's going on. I'll play a land, run out Voltaic Brawler. Pass the turn. Voyaging Satyr. Overgrown Tomb. Untapped. So opponent's going to be able to make a lot of mana? I don't know what's going on. Another Gift of Paradise. Opponent back up to 23. Well, we'll see what their top end is. We draw a forest. So we get to attune with Ether. Take a mountain. Get in with Brawler. No trample. If you want to block, that's fine. Opponent takes 3. We'll play more Brawlers. Pass the turn. All right, opponent's got 2 cards in hand. The question is, they have a ton of mana. The question is, what payoffs do they have? Like, they can Nykthos, untap Nykthos, so their mana is just huge. 7 untaps. 9. 10. Oh, is it like a huge ballista? Genesis Hydra, XA. Oh, well. Okay. I think, yeah, that's going to be an issue. Gets an Ugin? Okay, that's not only an issue, we're just going to scoop it up. We can't beat an Ugin. All right, so we know what our opponent's doing. It was not at all what we thought they were doing. They're playing some sort of Enchantment Nykthos deck. So, Anger of the Gods definitely coming in to get rid of the mana dorks. I don't know how much we want to change. The thing is, I still think our best bet is to remain aggressive. Maybe we don't Cindervines. Yeah, we're not like. I mean, I think our best bet is still just to kill our opponent. The only good news is it does take our opponent a while to set up, and if we can kill a mana dork, it takes our opponent even longer. All right, we'll keep this. Game Trail tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent tap land. Passes. Scries to the bottom. I'll play him out and play Servant of the Conduit. Pass the turn. There's a Nykthos and Voyaging Satyr. Well, let's see what we draw here. This is kind of a big turn. We draw Forest. All right. Let's... we want to run out of threat. All right, let's play Bristling Hydra. This does give our opponent a turn with Voyaging Satyr, although there's not enough devotion for it to be more than just +1 mana at the moment. Opponent untaps, 3 mana. Courser. Singing Bell Strike. Breeding Pool tapped. Yep, gains a life. Opponent passing. Good old tap Game Trail. So, go to combat, get in with Bristling Hydra. Opponent takes it. Kill Voyaging Satyr. Game Trail tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. Land on the top. Plays it. Untapped. Down to 16. Oh, I don't know. This Courser's an issue. Singing Bell Strike on Servant of the Conduit. Do we even care about that? All right, sure. Taps down Servant. Plays Voyaging Satyr. Opponent. Passing. Wow, getting in. Okay. Hits us. 18. Well, go to combat. Attack with Bristling Hydra. Electrostatic Pummeler. Pass the turn. Come on, something that gives trample. That's what we really need. Oh boy, opponent's gonna have so much mana here soon. Hinterland Harbor gains a life up to 13. Karametra's Acolyte. Yeah, opponent has a ton of mana, that is for sure. Untaps a land. Singing Bell Strike, so we will Blossoming Defense. Come on, trample. Come on, trample. Opponent passes. No attacks. Oh, that's a Rampager. That's a Rampager. Okay, go to combat. Attack, attack. I think this is going to do it. Opponent. Because this Pummeler is going to get huge. I think we stole it. Let's see how our opponent blocks. This Pummeler can go to what, 20 power with trample? Opponent blocks. All right. Well, Rampager on Pummeler. Double it up. Double it up. That's a 20-20. That's lethal. Whoo, Pummeler. Okay. Opponent gain life, had removal, did their thing. But that's what Pummeler can do. That's the reason to play the Pummeler deck, is when we get a trample spell with Pummeler and a bit of energy, it's basically just lethal. Like, that was 20 damage, trampling over a blocker, and that's the power of the Pummeler. Opponent's deck looks sweet, though. I like the Enchantment Devotion plan, but Pummeler, too much, too good. Sweet, sweet, sweet. All right, budget magic time. We are mulliganing with green-red Pummeler. Ew. Alright, I mean, I guess we'll keep this, although, this is a slow hand. Ronas is good. Pummeler is our namesake card. We just don't have much energy to make it great yet, although, I guess Ronas pumping it is something at least. We're going to keep it. We can't not keep it on the play. But we would rather have less than 5 lands. We technically only have 20 lands in this deck because we have 4 Attune with Ethers. Alright, opponent, what you up to? Something like Bristling Hydra to go with Ronas would be nice. Mountain for our opponent. Good God. Alright. More lands. They just keep coming. These game trails. I do think that I'm not a big fan of the Shadows of Innistrad lands, but I do think they are decent as budget substitutes. Now, play a Forest, play a Ronas, although this Generator Servant means we could just quite literally be dead this turn. Like, Generator Servant, Ilharg, Worldspine Worm is lethal. Alright, another Generator Servant, so not dead yet. This Pummeler, unfortunately, is not super close to being lethal. We get 3 energy, we can pump with Ronas, we can pump with Blossoming Defense. So that's like 14 or something? 12? Maybe 14. Rampager. Yeah, let's just play Rootbound Crag. I guess actually we should probably Rampager. Because Rampager is going to eat up all of our energy. So I think it's better to get down Rampager first. Pass the turn. Although we're still in a really scary spot with 2 Generator Servants. Like, this is definitely the sneak attack deck, which means something massive could be smashing our face basically at any moment. Okay, here it comes. What is it? Whoa, sagging them both. What is happening? A Tarka. Huh. Okay, this is not what I thought. But that still is going to kill us. So we take 12. Down to 8. Ugh. And we can't win this turn. Play a Forest. Well, alright. Electrostatic Pummeler. We'll see. If our opponent has a burn spell, we're pretty dead. Get in with Rampager. Hit our opponent. Yeah, we're actually just dead. Yeah, alright. Well, that was a thing that happened. Scoop it up, scoop it up. Okay. A Tarka, eh? We actually don't have a ton that stops what our opponent is doing. Or really anything. Our cards are all built for other matchups. Well, alright. Run it back. That was a pretty bad hand for our deck, in all honesty. Like, we drew 1,000,000 lands, we didn't draw action. We're a 20-land deck, so in theory, we should be drawing less than like 6 lands. That's a lot to draw in 7 or 8 cards or whatever. So let's just chalk that one up to poor running. Alright, we're on the play, and, yeah, okay. This hand's medium, I would say. Rampager. We have a removal spell, at least. Get some energy, pick it up. Since we don't have double green, though, we still don't get to stick it next turn. We do have a nice pump spell. Mountain for our opponent passes. Okay. Rampager. Pick it up. Mountain. Go. Opponent. Mountain. Generator Servant. Well, that's gonna die. So let's see. Play Rampager. Actually sticks around this time. Play a Mountain. Harness Lightning Generator Servant. Pass the turn. Alright. Well, we got a clock. I wish we had more green mana to Blossoming Defense and play other green spells, but opponent. Pass it. Well, go to combat. Get in with Rampager. And, yeah, I think we just play another Rampager. Pass the turn. 4 toughness is nice against red decks. Rootbound Craig for our opponent. Thran's Temporal Gateway. Okay. Alright, let's attune with Ether. Get a forest. Play a forest. Play a pummeler. Get some energy. Go to combat. Attack. And we'll see what historic permanent our opponent can put into play. If our pummeler lives, there's a reasonable chance we get to win this next turn. Like, this pummeler, +4, +5, +6, like, it's going to get massive. Opponent. Gonna pass and do stuff at instant speed? Alright, opponent passes. We draw a pummeler. Now go to combat. All attack. See if our opponent tries to block. I mean, I think... Okay. Let's... gore-clan Rampager. Pummeler. And death. Whoo! Okay. That's what pummeler could do. Like, oh, we could have went even more with the Blossoming Defense, but leaving it up seems... Wow. Ideal. What is going on in this matchup? Alright, I guess we just run it back. I mean, I guess our plan is just to kill our opponent. I think that is plan A, B, and C. Just have our opponent die. Okay. I guess this hand's okay. A little bit slow with double tap lands, but opponent passes. Untap green source. Alright. Well, Rootbound Craig, go. Next turn we can do some attuning. Start upping our energy. Opponent, Mountain. Passes. Play Attune with Ether. Get a forest. Play the forest. And I guess we just Rampager. Might as well get a body on the battlefield. Pass the turn. Opponent. Actually, in this matchup, Collision might be good. Collision is a way to kill a dragon. If our opponent's on the cheetah dragon into play plan. Let's Attune with Ether. Get a forest. Play a forest. Get in with Greenbelt Rampager. Hit our opponent. Down to 17. And Servant of the Conduit. Pass the turn. Well, we're gonna get down a Bristles with a lot of energy, which is nice. That's a real threat. Rootbound Craig for our opponent. Gateway. Alright, there's a gateway. Opponent. Passing. Ooh, Rampager. 4. Man, we can actually hit for a lot. It's not quite lethal, though. Wait, if we pump... So this can hit for 11, 12, 13. Alright, I think we just play Bristling Hydra. Get some energy. Go to combat. Hit our opponent down to 12. Hit our opponent for 3. Let's hit our opponent to 14. Let's leave up Servant for Blossoming Defense here. And then there's a pretty good chance we have lethal next turn with with 2 trampling pump spells. Even through our opponent putting something into play. Unless that something is like Ugin to wrath our board, then we lose. Then there's not anything we can do. But if it's just like a big creature, we should be able to beat it. Come on. No Ugins. Opponent. Passing. Alright, we untap. Alright, so go to combat. Attack, attack. Opponent. What you got? Thran's Temporal Gateway. 4. Atarka. Sure. I think this should still be lethal, though. Opponent, let's see how you block. Because we just have so much pump. Alright, so Hexproof Bristling Hydra. 5, 6, 10, 14? And that looks lethal. I mean, that's not the pummeler kill, but that is a kill. And that's what this deck can do. That's the idea of the deck. And that went pretty well. I mean, our opponent was on a interesting cheetah dragon into play strategy. Does not appear to actually be the sneak attack deck. Some other dragony take on something similar, but that was pretty good. Game 1, we just flooded out, but games 2 and game 3, we got to see the power of this strategy. And we didn't even get any, like, crazy pummeler kills. Alright, sweet. Alright, budget magic time. We are pummeling in Pioneer. And, alright, I mean, we're on the draw. We got Pummeler attuned with Ether. Our only pump spell, though, is Ronas, which is not our most explosive pump spell. Blood Crypt for our opponent. Tapped. And passes. Well, Game Trail, Reveal Forest, Attune with Ether. Take a Mountain, I guess. Pass the turn. Opponent. Dragon Skull Summit. Oh, Goblin. Okay, interesting. More lands, unfortunately. Well, Game Trail, Reveal a Mountain. Ugh, now we're in Flood Out mode. Opponent. Castle Embereth. Sure. Combat. Opponent gets in. Well, that's a little less scary than I thought. Down to 19. I was expecting some scary, hasty goblin, but opponent passes. I'll play for us. Play Electrostatic Pummeler. Pass the turn. Opponent. Gonna kill it. Harness. Interesting. Very interesting. Harness Lightning. Swamp for our opponent. Not sure about Harness Lightning if you're not an energy deck. Olivia mobilized for war. Opponent gives it haste. What is happening? Gets in. Hits us to 16. Passes. Oh my goodness. The flood. The flood of the year. Alright, Game Trail tapped. Pass the turn. So I guess we're just going to have to kill this Olivia? Huh. Yeah, we've hit a lot of lands. Ether Hub. Sure. I guess our opponent's also a little bit on the flood plan. Thrill. What is going on? Thrill of Possibility. Discards Harness Lightning. Draw some cards. Combat. Opponent attacks. Well, we will kill Olivia. Untap. Come on! Action. Action, action, action. Opponent passes. Harness Lightning. Now play a land. Play Ronas. Pass the turn. We have Harness Lightning to kill something. Alright. Sure. We could use like a Bristling Hydra. Something big would be nice. Opponent. 5 mana. Ilharg. Okay. I guess we're just going to have to Harness Lightning that. Opponent gives it haste. Well, we'll Harness Lightning. Spend a big chunk of our energy, unfortunately. Sure. Opponent passing. Ugh. More lands. Lands for days and days and days. Electrostatic Pummeler. He hasn't been a clunky draw. Goodness. Just way too many lands and way too little anything else. Pass the turn. The only tiny bit of good news is, if this Pummeler lives, we should just win next turn. If it dies, and we continue to draw lands, then all bets are off. Opponent is down 2 Harness Lightnings, although they discarded the second one, which makes me think they very possibly have another removal spell. Opponent, 5 mana. Bond of Revival for Olivia. Huh. Okay, that's fine. Opponent passes. Untap. So pump 20. Yeah, I mean, 1, 2, 3. Pummeler. 1, 2, 3. Pummeler. Combat. Attack. See how our opponent blocks. Blocks. Well, we will pump and... yeah, pump. Not quite lethal, but we trample over, hit our opponent for 17 and sweep their board. Play land, pass the turn, and I mean, that's the power of Pummeler. I think our opponent maybe should have left Ilharg in the graveyard, though. They could have left it in the graveyard and then Bond of Revivaled it, rather than that Olivia. Opponent. Scoops it up, pummels! That was like the worst Pummeler draw imaginable, but it was still enough to let us win the game. Sadly, we got like nothing for what our opponent's doing, so we're just actually literally going to run it back and just cross our fingers. I guess maybe there's an argument for Aether Sphere Harvester. It does block Olivia, which is something. But I think mostly we want to pummels. That's what this deck does. It just tries to pummel people. Alright. We got a few tap lands, but this hand seems reasonable. We'll keep it. Dragon Skull Summit for our opponent. Yeah, Game Trail tapped. Pass the turn. Opponent. Motivator. Getting the haste on. And passes. Now play an Ether Hub. Play Servant of the Conduit. Pass the turn. Oh, this could be a quick one. I don't know if we can Pummeler next turn unless we hit an untap land. Opponent. Passing? I'll play Rootbound Crag. Play Voltaic Brawler. Go up to 4 energy. Go to combat. Get in with Servant of the Conduit. So, we have enough energy. Next turn we can Pummeler with Blossoming Defense Protection. And then the turn after that, Rampager double 20. Opponent. Gonna Harness Lightning's Oath. Oh my. Okay. That's a scary reanimation target. I forgot this was a card. Opponent. Passing. I'm hopeful that we get to pummel before we get Lord of the Voided, though. Opponent's deck is spicy, for sure. Alright, play Ether Hub. Get an energy. So up to 6 energy. Go to combat. Attack. 4, 8, 12. Alright, we can't win this turn, so just attack, no energy spent. We're all in on the win next turn. Run out a Pummeler. Oh, next turn's Pummeler might be the best Pummeler ever. Oh, we can make that one huge. Opponent. Passing. Alright. We untap. I mean, we're going for it. We are going for it. We draw Bristling Hydra. Well, play Rootbound Crag. Go to combat. Attack. Attack. Yeah, I guess we can spend an energy. Does our opponent block? It does. Or they do. So we will gore-clan Rampager on Pummeler. Double, and win. Haha! Opponent thought they had the answer. We have an energy left over, so Blossoming Defense to top it off. And that looks like lethal. That is Pummeler doing pummely things. Our opponent's deck looks sweet, but Pummeler it pummels people. The name is so dead on. All right. Sweet pummeling. All right. Budget magic time. We are pummeling some fools. Hopefully. In Pioneer. And you know what? We're going to keep this. It's a little sketchy because we only have one, well, kind of 2 lands. But we don't have enough mana to play all of our stuff. The good news is if we miss on lands, at least we can play these Voltaic Brawlers, so we're doing something. And then by the time we get to play these Pummelers, we might have enough energy to just win in one attack. Depending on, I mean, we'll see what our opponent's playing. Opponent. Oh, God. Steel Leaf Champion. Land's not the worst. Well, play Voltaic Brawler. So this is maybe green-black elves, I guess? Up to 4 energy. Bristling Hydra would be a good way to stop this Steel Leaf Champion, perhaps. Although we might be just like Pummeler, try to combo kill. Just fingers crossed, hope for the best. Opponent gets in for 5. Can't stop it. Sure. Down to 15. Ooh, interesting. Well, let's play Pummeler. Go to combat. And I think we stay on defense. With 4 mana, I'm expecting Collected Company here. So I don't think we want to slam into it. Pass the turn. Here comes Collected Company. Yup. What does our opponent find? Shaman of the Pack. Oh, sweet. Yeah, Mother of Mercy. Ugh. Okay, and I think we're dead. Well, we chump here, we die. Yeah, okay. Well, living the elf dream. Good golly. Turn 1, Mystic. Turn 2, Steel Leaf. Turn 3, Collecting Company for double Shaman of the Pack. That's gotta be pretty good for an elf deck, I would say. Probably a smidge above the curve. We'll bring in a couple Anger of the Gods. Wrote it like that. Good God. Good God. Good God. Okay. I mean, the disappointing part there is we actually potentially had lethal the next turn. We had a 20 power trampling Pummeler. All right. We are on the play here for game number 2, and I think we got to mulligan this. A million Rampagers, but no real action. Well, this will keep. We will keep this primarily on the strength of Anger of the Gods, which Anger of the Gods seems really good. Hopefully we don't get turn 2 Steel Leaf. That's the one thing that would be obnoxious. Unclaimed territory. Because that does dodge Anger of the Gods. Opponent. Elvish Mystic. Rootbound Crag. Go. No Steel Leaf, no Steel Leaf, no Steel Leaf, no Steel Leaf. Show us 2 mana dorks or a Dwinian's Elite. Something like that. No unclaimed territory. Please no. Please not Steel Leaf. That's the one creature I don't think we can beat here. Gosh darn it. Alright. Well, now we're probably in some trouble. Play Ether Hub. Play Servant of the Conduit. Pass the turn. Yeah. That was exactly the one draw we needed our opponent not to have, but exactly the one draw that they had. Sure, opponent. So now I think we have to get down gore-clan Rampager to block Steel Leaf Champion, then Anger. Overgrown Tomb for our opponent. Untapped. Wow, do they just have the dream draw again? How consistent? Boy. Okay, 15. Opponent passes. Well, we will pass the turn. Oh man, wow, these draws. Sure. Opponent. This is literally instant replay. Yeah, alright. Elves running good. And yeah, I think this is game. Alright, fair enough. Sure. I mean, nice hands, Elves. Living the dream, living the dream, living the dream. So what do we learn this week about Pummeler for Pioneer? And overall, the deck worked pretty well. We went 4-1 in our 5 matches, with our one loss coming to Elves doing, oh my goodness, Elves thing. What scary draws from the Elves deck. Turn 1 Llanowar, turn 2 Steel Leaf Champion, turn 3 Collected Company. Doing that twice in a row. What are we supposed to do about that? That's just such an insane Elf start. But we beat a Boggles deck somehow, just out-boggling Boggles with Pummeler. We pummeled a Sultai Devotion deck, a green-red, like, Cheat Dragon into play deck, some sort of red-black Olivia Reanimator deck. So we played some kind of strange matchups, but Pummeler was up to the task of killing all of our opponents, except the Elf deck. So I think this deck is actually pretty functional. One of the things I love about the deck is we can't just play like a mid-range deck. Our cards are pretty good on their own. Like Voltaic Brawler is a pretty reasonable threat. Servant of the Conduit, it's a fine card. Green Bell Rampager, Bristling Hydra, pretty powerful. So we can't play like a normal fair deck. And in all honesty, getting a Bristling Hydra and putting an Embercleave on it, or maybe throwing some pump spells on it, that can close out the game pretty quickly in its own right. Then, while we are this kind of decent aggro-y mid-range style deck, we also just have this combo kill, and a lot of our wins did come from 20 power Electrostatic Pummelers, and it's really easy to get it to 20 power. Like, it's not really that hard. I'm a little disappointed that we just never Embercleaved. We just didn't draw them. We never got a chance to Embercleave, but gore-clan Rampager is insane. I think it is perfect for this deck because it works on both levels. On one hand, it's a great pump spell. +4/+4 and trample for 2 mana, that's already great. On the other hand, if we're on our backup mid-range plan, gore-clan Rampager is just another fine threat. We can just cast it. It's a 4/4 trample for 4, throw some pump spells on it, put an Embercleave on it. So gore-clan Rampager is the biggest addition to this deck, and I think it is just so good. I've seen other people playing some other things. You can play like Become Immense and other pump spells, but I think that gore-clan Rampager is the way to go. Collision Colossus, we got some extra value out of it against flyers. We killed an Olivia with it one time, which was pretty nice. I think that's a good backup pump spell. So all in all, I'm pretty happy with how the deck turned out. And another thing to keep in mind with this deck, if you want to go upgrade mode, is because we have a Tune with Ether, and because we have Servant of the Conduit and Ether Hub, it would be very easy to splash another color in this deck. We've talked before about 3 colors sometimes being challenging in Pioneer, but this is the type of strategy that can easily support 3 colors. So you could go into blue and have Rogue Refiners if you wanted to. For more card draw, more value-y mid-range stuff, you could add black and have Thought Seizes. So there's a lot of flexibility thanks to how the energy package supports our mana base. So all in all, Pummeler felt sweet. If you like quick aggro kills, big Voltrotty, huge attackers that can win the game in one attack, I think this is a pretty good budget option for the Pioneer format. So anyway, that's been Pummeler for Pioneer, and that's been our budget magic for this week. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I will talk to you soon.
Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, help us out by clicking that like button down below. And to keep up on all the latest and greatest, click that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit that bell icon to get alerts whenever we have new videos. And if you want to, check out some of our other sweet videos here and here.